Hey Conan fans, this is Matt. I am back at it again. I have been very, very busy. I have done a lot of work with our northern base. I've recruited a ton of people. I've started some new projects. I think I have played at least 3 or 4 times since the last time I recorded, and I've been busy. Let's just say that. Currently, I am trying to give some of my followers, my many followers, some experience. So I'm going to log some of that. Wow, that rain is loud. Turn my volume down. I think I rubbed up against my mic, my volume controls. I was gonna go out and go ahead and get some experience, but I'm gonna do a quick tour of the base, quick, and then I'll head out. So as you can see from the outside, yes, I just one of the last things, not necessarily the last thing, but one of the last things I did was started to build the like an outer wall for the base. You know, we were down there where that line is there, and I decided that's downhill. Anybody can stand up here and just fight right over the hill. So I decided, well, let's take the natural slope and put the wall at the top of that slope. And so I kind of followed it around. The idea is this is going to go up a few levels of just foundation. I'm not going to make this as thick as my other walls have been in other castles. It's going to be a single foundation wide. It's probably going to be, from this point, probably 2 or 3 more high. I'm not sure. And then at the top is going to be just the little fence line wall, um, and we'll have stairs that go down periodically. There's probably going to be, besides the towers that are going to be adjacent to the main gate, there's probably going to be one, two, maybe three, maybe as many as 4 towers on this part of the wall. The other part of the wall probably is only going to have one, because there really isn't anything to defend from that side. This side is going to be much more, and then whatever, it's going to need more defense. And then I got all these different kind of palisade things I'm going to put all on the outside to make it even harder to approach it. So, but anyway, this thing winds around. I found a pretty good slope. I had to kind of go over a gap in a few places, but for the most part, it kind of works. And then in the base area here, this is going to be a tower that's going to connect up to the gate area, and then there'll be another tower on the other side. I haven't decided yet whether this gate is going to be where it is here. This is where the gates are in the other castle, and this is the problem. They center it, and you can't put a wall there. It doesn't. It just gets messy. It looks better in this position, but if I move it, it's going to lock it so it'll put this point here. And that means the center of the double doors is going to be one line of this. Instead of like right now, it's centered over 2 of them, where the center line is right here, and you have 2 wide. It'll be one that you're essentially going to have an overflow on both sides. You're going to have, basically, it's going to be 3 wide, but the 3 is going to be a little wider than the door itself. It's just a decision you need to make. It's going to have to be one or the other. From the fort, from the other tower, this wall is pretty dang straight, and as you can see, it just pretty much drops off down the hill. So there really isn't much need for a whole lot of defenses here. Since I built the wall, the little guy that was always spawning over here, the little archer, has disappeared. It's too close to our building area. So after I got done chopping down trees to kind of clear the area so I could see what I was, where I was going to, I uncovered this. I didn't even see this before. It was just right over here. So I'm going to go ahead and click this and let you listen to it.
And so we came at last to this kingdom. It was a fertile land, rolling grasslands and temperate hills that gave way in the far south to the dryness of the desert. In the north were mountains, but not the snow-covered mountains that we had seen on our journey, just jagged round peaks, and a swamp, thick and brooding, that that lay over the eastern part of the region like a shadow. It was clear that this land was inhabited. Carved blocks of marble stone covered the landscape, and a crystal clear lake in the north was dammed and siphoned along a great aqueduct. No city. Such engineering was beyond humankind. I saw the great monuments, the statues brooding over the river, and the towers that flamed unnaturally across the landscape. And I confess, I felt fear.
Ominous. I am not going to go all the way around. Yeah, I found that and I was like, oh my god, I didn't even see this before. Okay, in addition to building the outer walls of our what I'm going to eventually have our little castle wall, which creates a nice space. In my recruitment, I managed to find a named priest, a seneschal, actually, Anastaria the Seeress, who is a priest of Emer. So I decided, well, since everybody here is a Nordheimer and they worship Emer, I better build an Emer temple. So here's the shrine and the foundation for the temple. I don't have enough materials yet. I'm going to have to do a lot of. The wall will not be sandstone. The base probably will I'll leave as sandstone, but basically the walls are going to be that reinforced wood or whatever it's called. What is it called? I always forget what these things are called. Insulated wood. I wish I could go something else, but that's the most efficient version stuff I can really do. Um, yeah, anyway, um, and the temple as well is going to be a different material. So I doubt this foundation is going to stay as sandstone because it kind of clashes with the gray, just like it did in my temple. You can see them. If it wasn't raining, it would be a little easier to see. But there's actually a kind of a gravel road that continues on down the hill, goes out here, and it connects down there. And this is the same kind of road that kind of meanders its way into our base. Now, in the last video, I had two. Well, I had my big tent. I had to move it. Didn't end up fitting anywhere, so I got rid of it. The tent that's up there is also going to have to move, but for now, it's fine. I had my two wheel of panes in here. Eventually, I got a third one. I, I couldn't place it on the ground anywhere because the ground's not level in any of the other places. So I built this nice little foundation, and then I realized that kind of looks like a stage or a stand. So I built an extra row, and I'll explain what this is. So after I basically filled most of my positions in with all these Nordheimer archers. I also put some. I'm going to put these little caltrip-looking palisade things on the base again to keep people from getting close to it. She is one of the three women that were up there, and I had a few of these other people who were armed outside. I decided this would be kind of cool, just as a visual. I started to recruit. I started off basically still just doing Nordheimers in the back. That's what most of these guys are in the back are Nordheimers. Men who were either fighters or archers. And I thought, well, there's about enough room for 8. And then I said, well, why don't I do a second row too? So then we ended up with 16 men, all of which are archers or fighters. I decided I was getting tired of all of the Nordheimers because they kept coming out looking the same, and I was getting tired of identical looking guys. So I decided, well, let's go south and get some people of different ethnicities. And so that's why we have some guys of different ethnic stock to kind of mix it up a little bit. And I said, well, why just have men? I also had women. The difference is here is all of those are, well, there's Nordheimers there, about half, just over half of them are Nordheimers. The rest of them are kind of a mix, and all of them are fighters or archers, and they all have their weapons. None of them have clothes. I figured they're all being inspected to determine their fitness level and their, you know, their strengths and their flaws. That's why they're being analyzed by these 3 tier 3 fighters. They're basically being judged. The women, equally unclothed, um, are a slightly different mix. There are three dancers here. There are two fighters, and the rest are archers, including one named archer, Mugandi Mundagai Hundred Arrow. Um, and they're also being evaluated by another tier 3 fighter in my camp, another Nordheimer. None of these are Nordheimers though. These are all foreigners that were picked up in raids or along the border or, whatever. I just creating a narrative, if you will. Oh wait, she's not supposed to have any weapons. I disarmed all of them and declothed them. The All of them are basically they're already recruited. These women are being evaluated, and the idea is that some of them are going to get sent to be dancers. Some of them are going to be sent to the wall. Some of them are going to be sent, to be fighters. A few of them, anyway. All of them, all 24 of them, are going to serve in positions in the fort or nearby, and I'll show you what I've done with this. Oh yes, all of this is new, by the way. I filled in the bottom. I put an overhang on top. I forgot this looks entirely different from the last time you saw it. I really decked this out. I put walls on the bottom of it, which enclosed these guys in here. I got a guy up there as well. I got my little ladder up. So this is fully staffed. This whole floor is done. All of these archers are ready to go. Now, I still want to take these guys out and give them some experience, and I will. It'll take some time and energy to do that. But then I also got this row. Look at this angle. It's worthless out there. But as the invaders get closer, now instead of just firing one row of archers, they're going to have to deal with another row of archers firing straight down at them. So, super defense. On top of that, you have to climb to get up here, a lookout. So somebody will be standing up here, basically on the lookout tower. I wanted to enclose it, but it was too difficult to get it to work with. I didn't want to tear everything down just to put some walls on it. But anyway, that's how that all works. So there's about 6, maybe 7 positions up there for archers. I now have 3 Nordheimer dancers. I have another fridge because I was getting a lot of food. I have since gotten rid of all of the fishing net things. We have plenty of fish to feed all the workers that I'm ever going to train. I just built this other stove because I had another named cook. My taxidermied wolf. I got both of my tanning stations are staffed. I got my statue of Emer still. I've trained. I went back to the other base and got my spiders placed, put the other ones in, got the saber tooth out of there, forgot to place it. I didn't have really any place to put them. I said, I'm going to take them back north. So that is an active saber tooth. So somebody comes in, they're going to see the stuffed bear on one side, they're going to see the stuffed wolf on the other. They're going to think this is a stuffed saber tooth. Nope, it's a real cat. Anyway, I want to put 2 archers here, and I want to put 2 archers over here to defend against any attacks through the door. And then probably, I don't know, maybe another animal on this side. And probably a good 2 to 4 warriors, fighters, to fill out the ground defense here. Because all these people can defend, but they're not going to be leveled up the way that a trained fighter is. Yeah, so I built this platform, which I thought would be kind of an extra defense, because this wasn't in here the last time I was in here either. The last time you guys watched. Up here I've done a little less. I've kind of completed some floors. I did finally get the walls reversed in here. So now it's all exterior walls. I still need to convert that one to the other material though. I did complete the floor in here, but I got some pillar work to do. I'm probably going to have 2 maybe 4 pillars in here. I'm thinking this is going to be my bedroom. I've already got my, you know, changer thing there, the bed. I don't have doors in there yet, but I'm going to replace all this wall yet. So in here, I also found a named uh, sorcerer. So I needed a place to place him. So I decided, well, I better build the thaumaturgy bench. And in addition, I built a sacrificial stone. This is where you build the blood in the flasks. Yeah, I got a couple of other things I need to build. Then I was thinking, well, what if I want to do a treasury here? I already have a treasury at the other base. What happens if I have a treasury in both? Should I have a treasury in both? Do I only need one again, I'm not sure. If I decide I want to have a treasury, this is probably where it's going to be, and I'll move the sorcery stuff out here. I'm thinking of dividing this, putting a wall here with a door, and making this the sorcerer's room, and then this would just basically be a hallway. I'd probably put some chairs and a desk, and a couple of soldiers on post as a defense against the anybody trying to breach the upstairs. So that's the base. Everything is essentially the way added in some little bits here and there, but otherwise it's feeling a little more lived in. It's a little more visual if you were to play this game with the nudity filter turned off, because that's a lot of flesh. So what am I doing now? Here is the character I was using as a follower before, um, and she is on level 15, so she's got her second tier of stats. She's okay for now. Everybody else here is on level 0, except for her. I just started using her as a follower. She's on level 1. So I'm taking her out, getting her some experience, getting her at least up to level 5. And that's basically what I'm going to try to do with all of these guys. I want to take everybody I have out, get them some experience, and bring them back. All of these guys need is armor, and I'm starting to build it. I think I have enough or close to enough chest pieces. I still think I'm short. I have some in here. Let me see. 5, 10, 13, 14. 15, that would be 20, 25, 27. Yeah, that's enough to put chess pieces on everybody that's up here that needs them, plus a few extra. So I won't need to worry about building any more of those, but I'd still need to build shoes and bracers and breeches, or whatever they're called, for all of the people who are currently naked. Everybody else are fully armored, so I don't have to do anything with anybody else. Um, I guess that's it. Yeah, I just did a boatload of uh, gathering people because I had 3 slave stations working at the same time. 3 of the wheels of pain working. So I was constantly going out, bringing somebody back. If all 3 of them were going to be a while, then I started working on the wall. Got to a certain point, went back, switched, put the new person over, went out, got somebody else, brought him in, put him on a wheel, did a little more building, and it was just rinse repeat. I did that. That was most of last night, is what I did. Yesterday, I did a lot of the recruiting, and the build up, and all the building part I did earlier yesterday. As far as the fortifications and stuff go on the inside, um, the people I was working on all last night, as well as all this. I'm pretty happy with the walls. I'm pretty happy with the people I picked up. Almost all of them are level 3. Some of them are level 2. The fighters and the archers, anyway. it's going to be a tedious process, all this experience getting. It's going to be a little bit of fun because I get to get in a little more combat, but the trick is I'm trying to let my follower do the fighting. Where's that dumb deer? God, why did I wait till nighttime? Can't really do much at night. I'm gonna stumble around in the darkness, so I might as well get some iron while I'm at it, so I can stock up my forge. The smelter is currently working on bricks. I have a number of bricks as a holdover until I can get more iron in there. My blacksmith is still working though. My blacksmith still has like between 800 and 1,000 um, iron ingots to work to build those little reinforced things, those little spiky things. I'm gonna need them. I'm gonna need every last one of them if I'm gonna do all that stuff in that wood. All right, there's 1,000. I'd like to get 2,000 if I can. A lot more iron than I need stone at this point. Now, if I was going to go to the next tier, I would need a lot more stone because they use bricks. It's the reason why I'm using this is because it doesn't need bricks. All it needs is wood and a lot of iron. Although it does need the dry wood, but surprisingly, it doesn't need as much of that. God, I gotta use the lightning to help me see everything. God, I also died. I wonder if my body is still over on that ridge. I was trying to get a little combat in, a little experience, and I was not well equipped. Let's just say that. I was trying to do a little, trying to take a thrall, and ended up getting tied up with some people who were fighting with real weapons, and they did me in. Is my grave still here? No, I guess it disappeared. It was right here. Wow, that is steep. Alright, it's daybreak. I want to get a little more iron. Up to 1,700. I don't even care what we fight against. Wolves, deer, people. I just gotta get her some experience. $2,000. And change. Okay, let's go find us something to we also need plenty of hide and fur. kinds of experience, even though I'm not getting any experience points. This probably will not be a long video. I'm planning on playing for quite a while, but my videos are getting a little long again, and if all I'm going to do is the same thing over and over again, I'm certainly not going to record all of it because nobody wants to see that. But because it's been so long since I recorded and I did a lot of changes to that base, I figured I'd have to at least show that much. He's laying down. I thought I heard another person. That's Dina, Master Huntress. I got her at my other base. Well, you're busy with that. I'm going to go deal with these carcasses. Is that what the plural of a carcass is? Carcasses? Carcassi? Carcasses? All she had was a frickin' little sword. That's not even worth picking up. Iron broadsword, that's all she was carrying. Could go get a baby horse, but I don't want to start doing livestock again. In fact, I think I'm done with livestock altogether. I'm probably going to kill off a bunch of the animals I've already got at my other base because it's just too much to manage. There's supposed to be a limit on the number of followers you can have, and I saw online it was something like 50, but maybe you can change it in the game. Maybe that's just a player versus player version to keep the numbers down. I don't know, but I got way more than 50 total followers right now. And there are a lot of animals on that list. I mean, I don't need all those sand reapers. Some of the lizards I don't need. I don't mind the people. The people I can do stuff with, but the animals, other than, I want to keep my spiders, I want the birds. I want a few horses. I got too many. I think I have 8 horses back at the base. Do I need 8 horses? No. 3 is probably good enough. 5 would at least give me, allow me to use the 5 different kinds of armor. But the other ones are just completely superfluous, so I'm probably just going to drop them. I don't need all the bears. I don't need all the boars. I'm definitely going to trim some fat. All right, so she's up to 3rd level. Hey, Mr. Moose. As long as she keeps leveling up, I'm happy. Oh, another little update, I guess. So how do I explain this? So when I downloaded this, I have both I guess what is the retail version as well as the beta version of the game. The update that happened on Thursday, I think it was Thursday, um, was released at that time was only released on the beta, because I played my other version of this because I'm doing another little playthrough and I start from the very beginning, and it still had the legendary chests. Um, the camps weren't any different. The little chests in the camps were still the old stuff. So if I really wanted to, I can still play with the old style. Um, I was a little disappointed, so I went online and says, "So when is the going to be released on the regular version?" So it turns out it's going to be the what do they call it? Part two of this or chapter two is going to be released on the full version on September 2nd. So in by next weekend. So the beta release is basically just a kind of softening the ground, letting people try it, seeing if there's any other more things they need to work out before they make the full release. So that's how long I got before my other version of the game also gets altered. It's kind of weird having them be about a week apart, but if I ever have any questions of like, oh, is that in the other version? Well, this is the week I can do it because I can go back into there and see what it was like because it doesn't look like it now. There are a couple of dungeons I should go to. It wouldn't do you any good to see it in this version because this has already been changed. So last weekend, I went through some dungeons and all over the place. Really, I was kind of going all over the place, and I killed a bunch of monsters that got me that had legendary chests. This was just completely by random chance, and I acquired several different unique or whatever legendary weapons or whatnot. Um, and then of course on Thursday they got rid of all those, so now none of those are there anymore. So I was like, oh, it was a good thing I got there when I did because now they're not available. Um, and I mentioned in the last stream that a lot of these dungeons also got changes. There's traps, there's different treasure chests, and sub bosses and stuff. Well, one of the dungeons, it's one with an arena in it. It's got all sorts of fights in it. Almost like it's like a bunch of sub bosses and then one big boss at the end. Um, there is this wall of ice that in the previous version you couldn't get through it. There is a big yeti on the other side of it. You can see it with glowing eyes, and there are chests in there, but you can't get through it unless you use the ghost mode and just walk through the wall. And there are chests in there, and they're worth getting. Oh my God, there's a thing here. I didn't even know there's a thing here. Scavenge more mushrooms in the area. Last night, Hagner thought a red speckled one I have not seen before. I made some notes of potential. Hmm. Like I said, those things sometimes are hard to see because they put them on benches, they put them on barrels, they leave them in the grass. Anyway, so there's things I looked online because I was curious because I went through this dungeon. I saw this big wall of ice. I said, I can't get through this thing. How do you get through this thing? I left the dungeon, came back in, still couldn't get through it. So I went online and asked because I was complaining about that last week. How many times I had to go onto Google to figure out how anything works because there's nothing explained in game. And yeah, they said that you can't get through that wall. It's not supposed to get open and whatever. So now in this post Thursday update, now you can get through It's an ice wall that you can actually break through, and the Yeti is in there, and I guess you can fight him and kill him or whatever, and there's treasure chests in there. So they opened up that little part. It's a strange game. The number of things, it's like it's just I don't even know how to describe it. You're playing a game that's a work in progress, It's kind of fun because you just don't know what's, it's not a final product, so anything could happen still. I guess that kind of makes it exciting because it's like, I don't know what's happening. People write all these videos on how to beat different parts of the game, and you have no idea if that's going to be true 6 months from now when the next edition comes out or the next version that makes all these changes. Asshole keeps moving right when I shoot. This little axe is the quote unquote holy weapon of the Emer. It just gives you shards. It doesn't. I don't think it gives anything that actually you get points for elsewhere. Spiked weapon fitting. Yay. Oh, there's an axe in that thing. Hardened steel hatchet. Oh, it's just the weapon itself. Yeah, that's some of the stuff they're doing with this is just little things. Well, what's she up to? She hasn't leveled up in a while. Oh, she's on 4. God, they did a good job with the climbing on this game. Okay, we got some boars. Another camp over there. Make sure she's healed up. Biggie. Poor piggies. I really don't feel like taking on a whole camp anyway. But a mammoth, that would get some experience. These are not good arrows. Okay. Get her up to level 5. Need to get some hops and leavening agent. I got the ability to make alcohol with my little stomper thing, but I don't have the all the ingredients. Mostly the key ingredients. Whoa! Alright, we gotta get better arrows. Those are really crappy arrows. Let's see. Flint head 3, flint head 3. Wow, that's all I got. Oh, those suck. I don't have any sticks, so I can't do those, so I guess I'm stuck with them. Hey, Ellie. Oops. Alright, run them off the top. Run them off the top. That's how the old guys did it.
Don't make me hurt you, wanderer.
She got the killing blow, but I'm impatient. Alright. Heading back. Looks like we'll get just enough of an encounter somewhere. Oh, she is on level 5. Alright, well, that's a good start for her anyway. Don't get anything until you get to level 10, but... She got food? No! She ran out of food. Well, that's not helpful. I can give her the rest of what I have. That's not going to take long to burn through. She doesn't have exquisite meat on her list of favorite foods, fortunately. Well, I can't even do my big fire because I don't have any wood. It's got to be hard to swim in that thing. Thick, heavy amounts of layered leather. She's like a walrus. When you look at the shore, it doesn't look like we're moving. If you look at the water, it's like flying at us. The water is constantly being blasted. It's like, where is it coming from? It's picking up the wind. It should be flowing downstream, not crisscrossing like that. That's alright. I've seen a lot worse. Got quite a few resources inside. Trying to figure out where I'm going to put stairs, where I'm going to put towers. And back home again. New fight. This one's a fighter. Gotta get her some levels. But with that, I think I'm going to call it for the recording anyway. You guys have seen the base, and we went out and I've showed you kind of what I'm doing for the time being. And it's a little less than an hour, so it's a significantly shorter than my previous few videos. I don't know, periodically I will record, but I probably won't be recording quite as frequently, since this is going to be a big time investment, and it's really not a whole lot to see. Now, if I go and build a bunch on the temple or build up the walls, once I get that kind of stuff done, then I'll record a little bit more and show off that stuff. But until I get the resources to build all of that, I'm just going to keep on working on leveling my NPCs up and getting them in some kind of an orderly fashion. I haven't even done this at my other base, but this seems to be a very militaristic organization here. It's very, I don't know, something about it. The little valley that this thing is set in seemed like a natural fortification. When I built the wall around her, I was like, God, this just feels right. It just feels perfectly natural to have this wall here. So once the walls are built, I'm going to need people on them. So there'll be another period where I'm going to have to recruit more people because all the people I have here, they can't both guard my base and guard the outer wall. So I'm definitely going to need more people. They probably won't be leveled up the same way. I'm not even. I don't think I'm going to get all these people leveled up either. I think I'm just going to get as many of them as I can. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting everything. For anybody that's been watching since the beginning, or if you've joined somewhere along the way, thanks.